Helps if I'm not on mute, so at least only the one person that's in the chat was the only one who witnessed that. But welcome back to Leeds Lately, to yourself, whoever it is. Of course, there will be more people joining very, very shortly. I imagine because the other weeks, this has been a fairly popular time slot for the show. So we'll give it a minute and hopefully some more people shall join us as well. There's a kit launch, a few more players been linked, some players that might be going back to their previous clubs, might be going back out on loan, etc., etc. So plenty to get into today. It's of course now past the PSR date as well, so we should start to see some movement very soon. But in this time as well, we have seen a couple of our targets go to Sunderland, which has been a bit annoying to see, but we move on and we look to the next ones. Hope everybody's well. Welcome everybody who's just joining us. Hope you can all hear me and see me okay. Let me know down in the comments below if you can hear me and see me okay. Evening, Michael. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we've got a few things to talk about today. The window's now officially rolled over into it's the new footballing calendar year after, this July 1st is the start of the new footballing calendar year. So we do have some more to look forward to, some more transfers. Hopefully, you can see rolling along at the bottom there are a few of those transfers that we've mentioned, and of course as well, like Michael says, RIP to Diogo Jota and his brother as well, who died in a tragic accident this week. So very sad news to hear. Only 28 and just had been married, I think, a week or two ago. So yeah, really bad news on that front. Alex saying, do we think there is an obligation to buy for Werder? I think in the Werder Bremen article, let me have a little look and see if I can find this, because I'm sure somebody tweeted it out before. I think in the Werder Bremen article, they mentioned how there would be, or they certainly hinted at the fact that there would be an option to make that permanent. Either an option or an obligation to make that permanent. So we'll have to find out on that one. So yeah, we need to wait and see on that one. But I think there's an obligation. Michael saying, good to see you on Just Joe the other day. It's been a long while. Yeah, it has been a while. I've had a lot on. I've been busy. I've moved house. I've been renovating, all sorts of things as well. And I've only kind of really had time to just go, do you know what? There's my video for the day, there's my shorts, there's my live stream or whatever. I've not really had time to go around too much on other people's channels and stuff. I'd like to do some more of that though, especially because I'm trying to go full time with it now. So I'm hoping to try and grow the channel as much as possible. We're nearly on to 10k now. That's our next goal, is that 10k mark. 9,100 and something we're on now, when we only just hit 9k like 3 or 4 days ago. So yeah, it's gone really well. It's going really well at the moment, hopefully. Hi Julie, welcome. Welcome Matt Odes as well from Ontario, Canada. All over the world we've got people here, and of course Ryan Tune as well, who is a Leeds Lately member. Remember, if you do want to join and become a Leeds Lately member, you get priority access to all the videos whenever I upload them. You'll see them straight away rather than the scheduled time, which will be the Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday schedule. So you'll be able to see them early, as well as all the shorts and all that sort of stuff as well, like Ryan can. I'm doing well, thank you, Ryan. I'm good. And I'm looking forward to getting to this chat. I think just after we've kind of said hello to everybody, we'll have a crack about all of the other stuff that's been going on in the world of Leeds United this week. Hi Rysel, welcome to the chat. Hi Michael. So hi Gavin, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, everybody who's joining us. We'll get into some news then. So first of all, the kit has been announced. Of course, the kit has been announced this week. So I don't know if I assume everybody's seen it. well, I can share my screen, I think. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to, here we are. If we put that, that'll put me full screen. And I think we'll have some sort of, hold on. There we go. This is the new kit. You can see it there. Jayden Bogle wearing it. Look, I think it's lazy. I think it could be hugely improved just by making the Red Bulls blue. But overall, I think it's lazy. I think you've just added a trim to the collar and to the cuffs and to the collar. Just added a little trim and called it a day. When we had Acid FC, I tweeted this before, but when we had Acid FC design the Peacocks kit when we first went down to the championship, they put so much more time and effort and dedication into designing a kit that really spoke to the fans. Whereas this is kind of, I'm not going to buy it. That's the thing. I'm not going to buy it. It looks exactly the same as last season's kit, so I'm not buying it. I might buy the away kit. There you go. This is part of the news today as well. So we will get into that. But if we go back to this one, you can all see me again. So yeah, look, I don't think I'll be buying it. This season's kit. I'll be buying the away kit, I imagine, if it's nice and blue. But yeah, I just don't really resonate with it too much. I think it's too similar to last season's. People say no, there's not much you can do with a white kit. Real Madrid have a white kit every season and they make it look different, so there's definitely stuff you can do with it. Anyway, Michael got then asking the first question on transfers. We'll get into this first then. So Michael says, Max, has Sunderland overpaid for their signings? Is it good quality business? And do we feel a bit salty that we didn't get those signings? Okay, so on Sunderland, signing Habib Diarra, signing Noah Siddiqui, and signing Jordi Petrovic, they are two very, very good signings. But in total, it adds up to around 77 million pounds, right? So that suggests that they've got about 23 million left to spend if they're spending 100 million, and they haven't signed any new centre backs. They haven't signed a new striker. They haven't signed any new wingers, so I think they are going to basically sell themselves short in terms of that. I think that Leeds said we didn't put a bid in for Noah Siddiqui, whilst there have been conflicting reports from journalists saying, oh, Leeds bid 10 million and Sunderland paid 17 or whatever. But I think that Leeds have said we didn't make a bid. They have obviously thought we don't value Siddiqui or Diarra at the price that Sunderland have paid, so we're happy to walk away and go somewhere else, which is fine. It's fine as long as you still get good targets. Now, I've seen people talk about Anton Stack, so we'll talk about him. He's in the thumbnail, one of the players that we were going to talk about in today's video. Anton Stack is somebody who would be a really good signing for Leeds, I feel. Would be a really, really good signing for Leeds. He's a holding midfielder, so this is the thing. This is the thing that we need to talk about. People have said, "Oh, we don't mind about missing out on Diarra and Siddiqui because we're going to get Stack and he's a better player." It's not. Stack is not the backup for Siddiqui and Diarra. Stack is a completely different type of player. Stack is a holding midfielder primarily who can play at centre back as well, and is somebody who's tough tackling, really good in the air, and a good passer as well. He's not your box-to-box midfielder. He's not somebody who is going to be charging forward and ended up in the box and scoring goals and getting assists. He is very much a holding midfielder. He's like Gruev, but better. So that's the Anton Stack angle here. Signing another holding midfielder. Basically, we had Gilavogi last season, and Daniel Farker obviously thought he needed that amount of midfielders that could play that position. So now that Gilavogi's gone out, he's saying, right, well, we need another number in the door, and then I guess Gruev becomes that Gilavogi kind of replacement, i.e. he sits on the bench and gets his game time here and there. So that's what Anton Stach is to me. Anton Stach is not a Siddiqui replacement. So I think you're looking at still getting a number 8 as well, a number 8 and a number 10 in those positions. So Stach is not the kind of let's do this instead. Michael saying, are you concerned that Burnley have signed 7 players already, including their obligation to buy, Sunderland hijacking main Leeds United target? Again, we've just talked about it. I don't necessarily think it's hijacking. I think Leeds have just said we don't want to pay that price. With 2 or 3 signings made by Leeds are free signings. Yeah. So let's talk about this as well, because people are saying, oh, we're completely underwhelmed by the Bornau and the Mecha signings. Bornau and Mecha have not been bought, in my opinion, to be first team footballers for Leeds United. Bornau and Mecha have been bought as we've sold Charlie Cresswell and we've got rid of Max Verber as well now. So we need another centre back on the bench. You have to have 2 starting centre backs, so Rodon and Biol, and then you want Bornau and Strauch as your 2 backups on the bench. You have to have at least that. So that's what Bornau is on the bench to be a backup instead of Max Verber. So a good squad player for £5 million who we're not expecting to play a massive amount of games this season. Plus Mecha is our 3rd choice striker. I think we're gonna sign another striker as well. Mecha is going to be our 3rd choice striker. So again, somebody to sit on the bench. You can potentially come on the wing or up front for free. So those 2 signings are to raise the level of the entire squad. And I think they're clever signings to make, given that you're getting 2 players who've got decent Bundesliga and national team experience for $5 million for both of them. Very good bit of business. The reason that people are panicking is because we haven't bought any big names in yet. But I think there's plenty of time left. Look, it's the 4th of July today, so there's loads and loads of time left of this transfer window. Don't panic, because there's plenty of time. And I think we've actually seen before when Leeds have gone in and gone, do you know what? We're going to pay a load of money and get loads of signings in very early in the transfer window, and it's not gone well. So yeah, I think we just have to learn to be a little bit more patient with it in terms of that. I haven't even seen, do you know what? I haven't even seen the players that other people have been signing, to be honest. I don't know what apparently Juventus have reached an agreement with Man United for Jadon Sancho for 25 million euros. Anyway, so yeah, the point is, don't worry too much yet. And I haven't even seen the signings that Burnley have made, to be honest. I don't even know who they've signed. You would think that, Gavin. I agree with you. I'm a graphic designer as well, so could have asked me. I would have made a nicer Leeds kit than that. I'll be honest. If we do get more players in, there'll be championship standards. I'll be honest. If we do get more players in, there'll be championship standards. But you will be a couple of weeks before league starts. No, I don't think there will be. I think, look, we're spending money cleverly. So we've got a very good centre back who dominated aerially against England in the European Championships, and we've got 2 players for the bench. That's it. So Gudmundsson is another one who he's been in training today, but then we saw that Rasmus Christensen was in training with Leeds when we first got relegated and then left. So that's no sign of anything really. I think the ball will start rolling soon. Don't worry too much. Villa and Chelsea fined by UEFA for financial rule breaches. Yeah, I did see that. Aston Villa with 11 million euros, maybe up to 15 million euros or something, and I think Chelsea about 30 million or something like that. So, look, Villa managed to get in the Champions League, and that's the only way that they could compete with the big boys, is by slightly breaking the rules. So, yeah. Are we doing the squad Moneyball style as in the baseball movie? So looking at more quantity from a quality point of view? No, I don't think so. I think it's just that, look, when you look at our squad, and actually tomorrow's video is about is a start, bench, loan, sell video where I go through the whole squad. So check that one out if you want my opinions on kind of everyone that we've got in the squad. But I don't think we are doing Moneyball. I think we're just strengthening the squad. Look, we've lost Verba and Gilavogi. We've lost Firpo. So there are, I know not position for position, but we are 3 players down. So then you've signed 3 players, 2 on the bench, 1 in the starting lineup. So I don't think there's any kind of Moneyball about this. I think we're just being smart with our money and not throwing our money around. I think Leeds are happy to say, do you know what, we've got ages of the window left and let's have our target. And then if they haven't sold to other teams, and we'll have to come back to them and say, yeah, we will pay that. But I think at the moment, Leeds are just playing the transfer window smartly. I don't think there's any reason to panic at the moment. Just because we haven't got anyone in the door yet, there's plenty of time left of this window. And Sunderland will lose Diarra for the African Cup of Nations for around, and Senegal are one of the best teams, so they might go all the way. Yeah, Solomon and Rothwell also have left as well. Thanks for that, Wayne. Yeah, there was a few players on loan as well that have left. So Rothwell's going to sign for Rangers permanently. So I think he'll do well up there. Razanolta would be wasting money on player, and they would just be splashing the cash, and it's not about that. It's about buying to actually be sustainable in the Premier League. Good question, Michael. What are the next positions? What are the next position players we need regarding importance? A left back, because we literally have lost Junior Firpo, so we don't have a left back. So a left back and a goalkeeper at the bottom there. We'll talk about Vanja Milinkovic-Savic now. So Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, I think he's at Torino, isn't he? I've seen him in the Euros and stuff like that. He's an absolute giant of a goalkeeper. 6'8" goalkeeper. Brother of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who was very, very good for Lazio for a couple of years. Now plays out in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, one of them. But Vanja Milinkovic-Savic is huge, a very good, solid goalkeeper, good shot stopper as well. Not necessarily the best with his feet, but somebody who would definitely solidify us at the back, winning those aerial duels. Look, he's somebody who's going to claim a lot of crosses. I get what you mean, Scott, but it doesn't necessarily always just happen that fast. There's negotiations to be had between clubs. There might be interest from other clubs. The player might want to hold off a little bit and wait and go, do you know what, I'm going to wait to see what offers come in. We don't really know what goes on in the background. I think there's certainly a list. I mean, there was a short / TikTok that went up today on the channel about Yaya Fofana, somebody who has a really, really high save percentage. It's not save percentage. It's like the goalkeeper XG thing. So it's like, in this position, how often do goalkeepers save this shot, and where do they rank against that? And he's in the positive for that by quite a distance. He's in like the 98th percentile, something for shots that he should be saving. So he's saving more than he actually should. Yaya Fofana. The Ivorian goalkeeper from Angers in France as well. So there's another one. We've been linked with a lot of goalkeepers, but they're the right goalkeepers to be linked with. They seem to be doing well. Yeah, Schmidt is a good shout as well, Dr. Cox, because Schmidt is somebody who, for all intents and purposes, he seems like he should be playing for Leeds. He should have got more time last season at left back, but he just doesn't seem to have that kind of. He just doesn't seem to have had that opportunity, and it seems like Farke doesn't like him. But why sign him then? It seems like this ownership with Farke is more of like a joint deal where they do decide transfers together, but we just don't seem to be. Using Schmidt at any point, so we'll have to see what happens on the Schmidt front. Just think it's a bit Schmidt that we would sign him and not play him. B Quirky saying, if Fofana is out at AFCON, are you comfortable having Darlow in goal for 6 games or so? I actually think I would. Having seen his performance in the run-in in the Championship, and he's done well for Wales internationally as well. I think Darlow is an okay second goalkeeper and somebody who would probably do you a job in the Premier League for 6 or so games. And he obviously that would be great for his career as well to get those Premier League games. So I don't think that's a bad option. But Lucas Perry is a good option as well. He's a Lyon goalkeeper. I made a video on him during the week. If after the stream you want to go back and have a look at that, but Lucas Perry is somebody who I had a look at, and definitely seems like somebody who would do well. What you reckon? Farke dismissed within 10 games? No, not if we get the recruitment right. Not if we get the recruitment right. Let's have a look when the transfer window runs to. Transfer window 25-26 dates. It's to the 1st of September. It's the 1st of September, so yeah, it runs into the season as well. We've got plenty of time. Really have got plenty of time. See, the thing is, okay, I get what you're saying, Wayne. Whatever happened to the days when the manager chose the players? Well, the manager definitely has a say, and the thing is that Daniel Farke never wanted to be a manager. He wanted to be a director of football, and that was his role for a while. And then he had to step in and be a manager, and he did so well that he kind of just transitioned into being a manager full time. But yeah, these days you have to have a proper infrastructure in the club. You have to have a full scouting department, because it's not just about going, oh, that fella looks good, I've seen a bit of him. These days it's like properly you have to look into their injury records, you have to look into what they're like as a character, you have to look into how they would fit the system specifically, and Farke, being the manager, doesn't have the time to put aside to look at those individual players and do that. So the scouting department, is their job to do that and come to him and say, would you like this player? This is how he fits. This is how or Farke might say, I like this player. Can you bring me a scouting report on him, a full dossier, and then we'll decide whether we want to have a look at him, for example. So I get what you're saying, but these days it's so complicated and there's so many players out there, and we've got an access to such a wider market that you have to have a whole team of people looking at that. Apparently, Paixão said that he didn't want to come to Leeds. Apparently, he poo-pooed the rumour himself and said that he didn't want to come. So, I tell you what's a terrible rumour that I've seen. Apparently, Leeds have been linked with Ben Chilwell. The only source I've seen for this is Team Talk, which is not very reliable. But his injury record is absolutely horrific, and he's on €200,000 a week. 200,000 a week. There's no way that Leeds would ever justify paying that much for his wages, given the fact that he'll probably spend most of his time on the recovery bench anyway. So yeah, there's no chance. There is absolutely no chance on that front. But look, we still need a striker, which we clearly have been looking for. Bornau, see, Tim, it's not out yet on the channel. It's out on Sunday. Sunday? Yes, it's out on Sunday. It's just a YouTube short talking about Ben Chilwell, because I didn't think it deserved a full video. But obviously Tim can watch it early because he's a member. So, yeah, his salary is absolutely ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But yeah, I think we need a left back. So for me, my pick would be Goodmanson. I think we should go and get Goodmanson and then have Schmidt as the backup. I think also we need a striker. So Rodrigo Muniz has gone quiet a little bit. Kristovic, I think he's going to go elsewhere in Italy. So there's certainly some work to be done on the striker front. A number 8. So for me, the priority is the ones that we have to get done, that we absolutely have to get done, is a left back, a number 8, and a striker. Those are the ones that we absolutely have to get done. The ones that we really should still get done is another winger, a left winger, and another right back. I just don't think that Mitchell will I don't. I spoke about him on my. Oh yeah, and a goalkeeper. Good shout, Michael. Yeah, because we were talking about that before, weren't we? Mitchell is somebody who would be an amazing signing for Leeds. I just don't think that he would come to Leeds. I think he's going to want to go a bit higher. Somebody who's going to play in European football, which could be Palace still. But we don't know yet. So we'll have to see on that front. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of work to be done still. I think goalkeeper. So my choice will be Lucas Perry. I'll put it in the chat actually. So for me, the priority is. I sent that already. I didn't mean to. Goalkeeper for me, Lucas Perry should be the one that we go for. Then I think left back we need Goodmanson. Then I think striker. If we can get him in, for the striker, I think we should sign Muniz. Those are the kind of three priorities that I can see possibly happening soon. We need another right back. We need another number 8. Hold on, Easy B. Just hold on a second. What do you mean? I mean, what's uninformed? None of us are claiming to know anything that's going to happen in the future. We're just talking about what we need as a club. So chill out, yeah. We need another number 10. I still like Buendia. I see the B Quirky saying Villa have been fined. Wonder if that'll affect the Buendia price. Yeah, it'll probably go up because they need more money. I still like Buendia. I still like Buendia, and I think he's somebody who I would like to see come in that 10 position, because I think we could really revitalise his career. Welcome, Joe. Joe saying I can confirm I'm pretty uninformed, more because I'm a bit of a dipshit than anything. Yeah. Also, now that Joe's here, it reminded me. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose, but it's reminded me to mention the Creator Cup. 20th of July. So 16 days away. 16 days away from the Leeds Creator Cup. I went for a run yesterday, and then the day before that, and I'm trying to get a bit fitter for this Leeds Creator Cup. 20th of July at the John Child Centre for Sport. I know that CB is going to be there, a few others as well, but make sure you go and get that. Go and get your tickets down in the description below, all for a great cause in prostate cancer UK as well that we'll be supporting. Wayne Mace, Buendia would be an awful signing. I don't understand where people are getting this idea that Buendia would be an awful signing. I really don't. Even at I'll do it for you, Joe. Even at Aston Villa and Bayer Leverkusen, Buendia's underlying statistics still show that he's doing the same things that he was doing at Norwich. He's getting himself in the same positions. Go and watch my video. He's getting himself in the same positions. He's getting himself in positions to receive the ball, to carry the ball. He is what Leeds need in a number 10, and the best football he's ever played. So even then, when we come back to your point, he's done nought since Norwich. Okay, who was his manager at Norwich? It was Daniel Farke, and he got the best out of him. So does that not suggest that Daniel Farke can still get the best out of him? He's not had that bad of an injury record, and he's somebody who could come in. I think he's only 28 still. He could come in for around 15 to 18 million. For the Premier League, I think he would really, really suit us in the way that we want to play. He's not, honestly, the amount of different spellings of Buendia I've seen in this chat. Bendia, Buendio. He's not that injury prone, Buendia. Let's have a little look at his record. He has had injuries, of course, but it's not that horrendous. No, it's not. It's the only time he did his cruciate in 23-24 and missed a whole year, 69 games. But before that, In the 2021 season, he missed 4 games. In the 1920 season, he missed 2 games. In the 16-17 season, he missed 2 games. And before that, he missed 119 days in the 16-17 season. So it's only because he did his cruciate in the 23-24 season that he was out for a long time. Since then, he hasn't had an injury. So 18 million is what they said, but I don't know if that's euros. So, and he has 1 year left on his contract. But Hamer, someone asked about Hamer. I think Hamer's a good player. I think I would see him in that number 8 role more than the number 10 role, but then does he have the fitness to get up and down as much? So, yeah. He played 11 times. Yeah, do you know who he played for, though? So he was competing for a position with Florian Wirtz, who's just signed for Liverpool for 150 million euros. So that's why he wasn't getting a game. He was playing in a Bayer Leverkusen that won the Bundesliga. He was playing in a Bayer Leverkusen. Yes, I am, Joe. I press stream virtual camera, whatever it is. Where is it? Yeah, virtual camera, and then do it through StreamYard after that. But the only reason I do that is because when I'm streaming directly from my PC, which I can just do through OBS, for some reason my PC crashes, but this doesn't crash it. So the trade-off is I have a little duck in the top right corner. That's literally the trade-off. Usually on match days, you've got the over on the right-hand side, above Strauch's head, we've got the lineups, and then at the top we've got the scores and stuff as well. But yeah, of course everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm just giving you mine. But I don't think the injury thing is a fair comment, because he hasn't really been injured prior to that. So to Wayne Dawson's point there as well. Look, there are other strikers out there as well. I know that George Mikatadze was someone that we would be really interested in looking at. I'll just need to make sure that he's not moved on yet. He still plays for Lyon. George Mikatadze has been offered to Fenerbahce, and Jose Mourinho will make the final decision, apparently. But come to Leeds, and you'll do well at Leeds. I honestly think that George Mikatadze could play in the number 10 instead. I really do think he could play in the number 10 instead, and then we sign a striker as well as Mikatadze, and that kind of sorts two. See, Dr. Cox saying, I think Gruev gets sold. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think we need him, because I think he's somebody who, if we sign Anton Stack, I think it's going to be Stack and Tanaka as the 2 midfielders, or Stack and Ampadu as the 2 midfielders. And that leaves, you have to have players on the bench to be options, and Gruev has to be one of them. And I think the reason that Gruev is important is because Gruev is so good at dropping into that left back role when the full back goes forward. So say Goodmanson, if we signed him, was charging forward, getting into the half space, even overlapping the winger. You've got nobody in the left back position, but what Gruev always did very well was drop into that left back position. I did see Asgard as a good player in the Championship, a very decent player, but I'm just not sure that he's the level to raise our game in the Premier League, I think. Joe Blackburn saying that's not very Bamford supremacy of you. Yeah, look, I like Bamford, and I think he said himself that the Premier League is more suited to him, but his wages are high. I think I said in the last stream or one of... Oh, actually, no, it's the video that's coming out tomorrow. I think he needs to go to America. I think he needs to go to America, play in the MLS, do really well there, and enjoy the rest of his career. I think Bamford deserves a break, deserves some time in a more chilled and relaxed environment after, of course, Leeds has been very, very up and down for him and for Leeds fans in general. So, yeah. Wayne will say Bamford did not walk away from his final year of his contract. He probably won't, but if Mateo Joseph goes out on loan even, Bamford will still be fourth choice. Bamford will still be fourth choice, so I don't think he'll. He seemed perfectly happy to be kind of sat on the bench this entire season. So look, who knows where his thoughts are with it. But either way, I don't think he's going to be somebody who's going to be playing a lot of games for us. But yeah, look, we need to start making some transfers soon, of course. But I just think that, oh my God, if he's in for, actually it's not. Never mind. I thought it was the real Fabrizio Romano, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. Never mind. I thought he tweeted something horrendous. Anyway, oh no, we won't be touching Josh Sargent. We won't be touching Josh Sargent. I really hope not. He's just Brendan Aronson, but ginger. Leeds United have just signed Joe Blackburn for $5 million new goal. Yeah, well, he's on trial on the 20th of July. If you want to watch Joe Blackburn on the 20th of July on trial, as well as myself, captain in the Peacocks, get yourself down to the John Charles Centre for Sport. Tickets for adults are £7 and for children are £3, and it's all for Prostate Cancer UK. So thanks for that segue, Stephen. Grave was part of the kit launch. I don't think he'll be going. Tanaka had no number. Is that so Harrison can have his old number back? Harrison's another one that we still kind of don't know what's going on with him. I would like to see Harrison go. Personally, I think we need to sign another winger who's more suited to the system. Even if you put all of the off-field stuff aside, I think I might have said this in last week's stream, but I just think that Harrison doesn't fit the system anymore. He's not. He's very much a crossing winger rather than a running into the half space and scoring goals and getting assists and stuff. The other thing we'll say as well is that with these players that we've signed, so Biol, Bornau, and of course looking at Anton Stack as well. If we were to sign Goodmanson as well, Leeds are going to have a very, very tall squad. But I just think that Leeds need somebody to actually be able to cross the ball into them. A set piece taker, whether that be a winger or a number 8 or a number 10. I think deliveries wise, Buendia offers you a lot. As this kind of winger who can whip balls into the box. And number 10 is kind of the profile where you expect them to have good delivery and stuff like that. So hopefully that will answer that question. Michael Gott saying, does Ramazani fit anywhere this season? Does he get a look in? So I think Dan James will be starting out on the right-hand side. And I think at first, the start of the season, I think it'll be a competition between Ramazani and Nonto for the left-hand side position. I think what you have to look at is that you need 2 players in every position so you've got backup basically. So, i.e., for the left-hand side, you've got Ramazani and Nonto. Either one of them starts, the other one on the bench. On the right-hand side, you've only really got Dan James. Yes, you've got Nonto on the bench, for example, if Ramazani starts. But once Dan James is injured, if Nonto's the first team, you've got nobody to bring on the bench, off the bench as a winger, as an option. Mecha, maybe. But so that means to me, I think we should sign another winger, a right winger who can come in for Dan James or start on the left wing, and then you have Ramazani and Nonto as options off the bench. So Ramazani, I think, is going to probably start him or Nonto is going to start on that left-hand side. But we definitely need another winger to be that backup. So, yeah, David Brooks, but then can we do better elsewhere? I think we probably can. And I think there's a chance that we go out and buy a player that we've just not really been linked with too much. It kind of just happens. Brian Mbeumo is still not going to gone to Man United yet. I've just seen on there. But yeah, look, I think I'd like to see. Look, it's not about appeasing the fans, is it? It's about buying the best possible squad to stay up in the Premier League. So it's not about appeasing the fans. However, I think it would settle a lot of people down if Leeds made a marquee signing at some point soon. If we just went and signed the striker for the season, or a really good number 8, or a really good number 10, if we just signed somebody like that, we would then be able to relax a little bit. And do you know what? I actually am pretty relaxed. I just think that there's a lot of people panicking for no reason. And I think with good reason. Look, we've had a lot of reasons to worry about Leeds United over the last 20 odd years. Everything seems to have gone wrong at some point for Leeds. Ownership, money, relegations, nearly getting promoted and then not winning in playoffs multiple times. We have a vast history in the last 20 years of things going wrong. And I think what it has done has created a very, very negative and pessimistic fan base. And I think any time, look, most clubs, there won't be a single club that is finished with their transfer business at this point. So don't expect Leeds to be, is my point. Like, chill. There's no reason to panic yet. We're so far away from the end of the transfer window. September 1st, it's July 4th. So there's so much more time left. So just, like, hold on to your horses. Like, it's going to be totally fine. Judge it on the first day of the season when we have a look at our squad then. So, yeah, just don't panic. Like, some people being negative is almost making me panic a little bit about it. But then I just think, hold on a second, we've got ages left. Joe saying, I'm happy with our approach, to be honest. We know our valuation for players and we're not willing to rush into chucking money around like Sunderland will be right. Absolutely. I think there's a massive value in saying, do you know what? We actually haven't overspent on anyone. In fact, we've underspent massively. We've got some very good value for money out of the players that we've bought. But what people don't seem to put together as well is people keep saying, oh, we've signed these players for nothing and like, oh, we're not being ambitious. Well, hold on a sec. If you spend less on these squad players who build up the team, then when you actually do want to sign a Rodrigo Muniz or whatever, you can afford to put 20 million up because your 2 bench options that you did to strengthen the squad only cost you 5 million. So you're then making room to buy the big marquee signings. And I think where we spend big is a striker and a number 10. So somebody to create the goals and somebody to score the goals. I think that's where we start. That's where we spend big. But we only spend big by spending 15 million on Biol, 5 million on Bornau and Mecha, and then 7 million on Gabriel Goodmanson at left back. And then you go, okay, well, hold on, we can put 30, 40 million into a striker, 30, 40 million into a number 10. What have we got left? Okay, let's get a number 8 for this much. So, yeah, I think it's important that we look at the financials like we only have a certain amount to spend without breaking the rules as well. So you have to be careful about where you spend your money. And I think Sunderland they're buying good players, but they're buying them over market value. Petrovic as well for 25 million. Diarra for 27 million plus add-ons. Siddiqui for 17 million plus add-ons. It's a lot. Bornau's got a lot of injuries as well in his recent past. He was injured for half of last season, so I think he is going to be a bench option. Why would you spend 15 on Biol and 10 on Rodon if you were going to start a £5 million player over the top of them. I don't see it personally. He's good, now. He's very good. But I think he's a very good player to have on the bench to go, do you know what? If we want to go 3 at the back, he goes in. There's 3. We're really, really solid there. Of course we are, Logan, but by the end of the window, we might be a bit closer to it, is what I'm saying. The budget, the competition, the clubs that need for that position. 30 million for Diarra, maybe an overspend for us, but maybe not for Sunderland. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. So I said this at the start. Sunderland have spent around, I think someone said that they've spent around 77 million already, and if they've got a pot of maybe 100 million to spend, then they've only got 23 million. They haven't signed any new centre backs, they haven't signed a new winger or a striker. They will run out of money if they keep doing this. But the other thing is to remember, it's not about Sunderland, it's about Leeds. We need to just forget about Sunderland, do what they will. Why do so many think Pascal will roll over and give his place up? Pascal doesn't start, or didn't start anyway. As soon as he got injured, but then Ampadu and Rodon were a better partnership than Strauch and Rodon ever were. Strauch is going to be on the bench, and Strauch's a good player, but he's not better than a £15 million Beal, and he's not better than Rodon. So therefore, those two start over him. I think that's the option. That's the reason. In what sense, Wayne? You'll have to be more specific. Joe saying the same people complained at Auto for tanking the finances are complaining now that we're not launching cash everywhere. Just pick it. Exactly. Yeah, it's like you can't. We are complaining that we're not doing the thing that we did last time that got us relegated. To be fair with prices, we spent 25 or so on Aronson and we're looking to bench him. Look, this is why we went down. We overspent on players like Brendan Aronson. We spent 25 million. Jorginho Rutter was amazing in the Championship. Totally wrong time to buy him in the Premier League though. For 35 million, our record signing ever, and we got relegated and he barely played. He barely touched the pitch. So this is what I'm saying. Last time we were in the Premier League, there was Rafinha was great value for money, but some of the other signings that we made, Brendan Aronson and Jorginho Rutter and stuff, they weren't good value at the time, and having spent that much money meant that we couldn't spend the money on other players, and we got relegated. So, we have a proven case study to say that's why. I'm happy with the new board being sensible and not carefree. Exactly. We've got to spend our money sensible. We've got to spend our money sensibly. We might play in a back 3, in which case Strauch might start, because Bornau might be better than Strauch as well. So you don't know. But if we are going to play a back 3, we probably should buy another centre back as well. I think we now put a lot of stock in this left-footed and right-footed centre-back thing, Michael. But I think that's just because that's what Bielsa liked, and I think some other teams don't really care about that so much anymore. Having 2 right-footed centre-backs or 3 right-footed centre-backs in a back 3, I think that it's less of a thing, really. I think it's just that that's what Bielsa's philosophy was. So as Leeds fans, we were all kind of like, oh yeah, we can't, which is fair enough because Bielsa was a great manager, but I don't think it has to be such a hard and fast rule. The Man United game is just 2 weeks away. How do we line up for that one? Look, I think it'll be Darlow in goal. I think Schmidt at left back, Bogle, Rodon and Biol. I think Tanaka and Ampadu, Aronson in the 10, Ramazani, Dan James and Piru. I think that's roughly how we'd line up. Probably with some youth players coming in there as well, maybe. Rutter turned out to be good value. Rutter didn't turn out to be good value because Rutter didn't turn out to be good value because we signed him for the Premier League and he didn't get any games and we got relegated. He was good in the Championship, but at the end of the day, he didn't get us promoted. We only made about 5 million off him. We only made about 5 million off him in the end. To be honest, I actually like Sunderland, and I hope that they stay up because it's a good club to have in the Premier League. I hope that other teams go down like Brentford and Wolves, for example. But their fans have been very obnoxious about these transfers. I actually would like Sunderland to stay up. I'd like to be at a point where we have a proper Premier League of clubs. What question am I avoiding? At no point have you mentioned Josh Sargent. I've just scrolled through. Why you avoid this question? What if players don't want Leeds? What do we do then? Go for Josh Sargent. Players will want Leeds. Players are attracted to the Premier League. And to be honest, it's less of a... Okay, so foreign players coming into the Premier League, they actually don't really care about what club it is that they're joining. If you've just been promoted, they're just like, okay, we're able to play in the Premier League now. Like, I want to be a Premier League player. They don't actually care about the club's history. So they want to go to the club that's got the most chance of staying up if they're going to go to a newly promoted side. So you've got to have a think about that, really. And I just don't think I wouldn't touch Josh Sargent with a 10-foot barge pole. Don't think he's ready for the Premier League. Because we got relegated in the season when we bought him, and if we'd have spent that money elsewhere, and as well as having a better manager, then we might have done a bit better. That's why we call me Big Popper. Saying, look, we all love a sign it, we need to be sensible. I'd much rather aiming for sustainability rather than the gung-ho, let's sign everybody method. This is exactly what I'm saying. When we got relegated last time, we were splashing cash and spending it in the wrong place early in the window. I think Aronson came in like a day after the window opened or something. So let's have a look around and shop around, and if that means waiting a little bit longer for signings, then so be it, because we have to bring in like 7 or 8 signings, and they have to be not just, oh, we'll just throw the money at the wall. So yeah, that's why they call me Big Popper, who I'd like to know your real name so I don't have to read that out every time, says just be sensible about it. And yes, we are part of the Red Bull network. They can see that kind of infrastructure there, as well as the 49ers have a big pull as well. There's like a celebrity angle there to go for as well. So I think that Peru will do decent in the Premier League. I expect 8 goals from Peru in the Premier League, and I expect him to be a backup striker. So to get 8 is decent for a backup striker. I think that's what I'm expecting from Peru. Will Verber's loan. We don't need to worry too much about PSR at the moment, but it will get some of his wages off our books, so that will help us out. There wasn't much wiggle room on Rutter for making profit, and he didn't get us promoted in the end, really. US player Timothy Weah is tipped to come to Leeds. Do you think he's worth it? No. I think I've spoken to Andrea about this. Of course, Andrea being Italian and watching a lot of Italian football, has said that Timothy Weah is really poor. He's really not somebody who would do well for Leeds. I think we've been linked because of the American link, and that's about it, to be honest. Back up to who? Back up to the striker that we'll sign. And don't say, oh, we're not going to sign a striker. It's the 4th of July. We've got until September 1st to sign a striker. So on at the end of August, you can say to me, we're not going to sign a striker, and I'll go, okay, yeah, it doesn't seem like we're actually going to get one across the line. But for now, just chill out. It's fine. So yeah, look. We're spending money wisely. Just my message is from this stream, just don't worry about that yet. Yeah, just don't worry about that yet. But what we're hoping, though, is that he's learnt from that and we can sign some players for him that really fit what he wants to do. Good value for getting below what, but that's not. No, it's not. That's not. That's you. I get what you're saying. So you're saying that he made us a profit. That's fine, but it doesn't mean that he was good value when we bought him in the Premier League for too much money. He sat on the bench, not getting any game time. We got relegated. He nearly got us promoted, but didn't. As a 35 million euro player in the Championship, then we sold him and made 5 million. So that's not good value to me, because think about the value that we haven't made money off him. We've lost money because we got relegated. So then you lose a massive amount financially. You only get about half as much in parachute payments as what you would have done for staying up in the Premier League. So when you look at that, he's actually cost us another 50 million. I'm not saying it's personally on him, but this transfer strategy that we had means that it was bad value. As Carl says, people need to chill out. Got till September, exactly. And Rutter cost us a fortune in wages as well. We didn't think about that. Look, yeah, Rutter. But Farke wants significant players in for the pre-season. Surely we need to start well in August. Yeah, but the pre-season doesn't start. The actual Germany pre-season tour doesn't start yet, does it? It's 2 weeks. I think we'll have at least one. I think we'll have at least one or two more players in by the time we play for the first pre-season game against Scum. I think it's against Scum, isn't it, the first one, or AC Milan? One of them. I think we'll have two more players in the door then. And before they head out to Germany and do the actual pre-season, I think we'll have some more players in the door. So, yeah, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think Rutter would be worth less. But would Rutter be worth more if we're in the Premier League the first season and we lost out? If we'd have stayed up, I think I'm taking your question that way. If we'd have stayed up, I don't think, because Rutter hasn't done that well for Brighton, really, and when you look at his output. So I don't think he wouldn't have had a good season in the Premier League, and therefore no one would have wanted to take him off of our hands. So he would have stayed at us for longer. I think being in the Championship, he was a level above that and really kind of showed off. Really kind of showed off his skill set in the Championship, which made him valuable. Don't think he would have. I think he would still be at the club if he would still be in the Premier League, because I don't think he would have shown that level of skill, really. But yeah, look, we've got plenty of time yet. By this time next week, because 6 p.m. every week we'll be doing this live stream just to round up what's happened at the week and kind of discuss everything like that. During the week that's happened. Of course, there'll be plenty to sub for on the channel and stuff like that as well. Make sure you do sub as well. If you haven't already, where's the little button that I've got? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button, because we're on to 10,000 subs. That's the next goal, on 10,000 subs. And we are trying to do this full time now as well, so any support would be greatly appreciated. But by this time next week, I think we'll have another signing through the door, and I think we'll be able to have a talk about it then. I think people will be a little bit more relaxed about things. So don't panic is the memo. Don't panic. We'll have another signing by next week, and of course, we'll have plenty to upload during the week, and you can all check that out as well. So yeah, thanks for watching Leeds lately. Appreciate everybody for joining me, and difference of opinions and stuff, totally fine. It's just a conversation that we had. Look, everybody's got their own opinions on things. But that's why we're here, isn't it? Football's a game of opinions. So it's just a chat about it. So nothing too deep, nothing too personal. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I shall see you in the next one. There's a video out tomorrow on the channel at 12. So if you want to go and check that out, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Make sure you hit that sub button, all that good stuff, and make sure that you get your tickets for the Leeds Creator Cup. That's down in the description below. And also, I have a link in the description for my prints. I am a graphic designer as well, and I've designed some Leeds United wall art, some prints, one about us being promoted, one about some legends of the club, an Ethan Ampadu kind of drawing and things like that. So check all that out as well if you want to support me and support the channel. Thanks everybody so much for watching and joining and everything. And I shall see you this time next week for a live, but plenty of videos throughout the week if you want to check out the scouting reports on players we've been linked with and stuff to give you a better idea of who we are going to sign and stuff. Thanks everybody so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.